There are many jobs which you could do online, some better than others, and today we're going to evaluate which one is right for you. Now, all of these options are ones that you can do solo from home on your own schedule, and we're going to go through which ones fits you based off your current skill set, which online jobs are the equivalent to sort of like what in the corporate world in case your current role leads you perfectly into one of these, and I'll also give you pointers on where to start if one of these piques your interest. Now, these jobs aren't virtual assistants or doing an Etsy shop or something. I'm basically just focusing on jobs where you have a realistic chance of making at least $6,000 a month with. I've either done this job or have experience hiring for each one of these roles, so this advice comes from a lot of real experience. Starting with the first thing I ever did online, and one which is very common to start with in the online world, and that is content creation or influencing. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that like 57% of Gen Z wants to become content creators, and I totally get it. It sounds like a dream job. Making money, posting some videos and photos online, writing an article here and there. No matter if you want to be a content creator on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or an old-fashioned blog, the general idea is that you pick a niche, you create content, and then you build a following and monetize it through selling to or selling your audience. For example, you sell to your audience by putting affiliate links to the products that you're showing in your content. So if you're posting about redecorating your living room, you say affiliate link to the furnishing. If you post about your outfits, you affiliate link to each one of those items. Some platforms like YouTube also pay you per view because YouTube shows ads on your videos and shares a cut of that ad revenue with you. Alternatively, as an influencer, you can sell your audience. And I know that sounds weird, but let me explain. It's things like doing product placements or creating ads for companies who want to get in front of your specific audience. So if you have new moms as your audience, maybe a stroller company pays you to advertise their products on your platform. In the corporate world, the closest equivalent to this is some sort of marketing job. This job is basically being a spokesperson / marketing expert / copywriter. Now, as an influencer or content creator, you're getting attention and directing that attention towards products. So if you have any experience with marketing in the corporate world, that'll help you understand this job a lot faster. But of course, experience isn't actually necessary as you can't really get experience with this in the corporate world. And how are the earnings from this? I'll give you a few examples. In terms of making revenue from the platform itself, like YouTube AdSense, my own YouTube channel in 2023 with under 10,000 subscribers, I made just about $10,000 from AdSense. Now, I've been pitched partnerships to make sponsored videos ranging from a few hundred to a few $1,000s per video, which again, with a relatively small channel is decent. But what about if you've built a large following? Kara and Nate, the world's biggest travel YouTubers, shared in a podcast that they made 7 figures from a mix of sponsorships and brand deals and YouTube ad revenue in a year. Now, on other platforms like Instagram, influencers make anywhere from $10 to $10,000 per post on the platform, depending on their following size, of course. Now, influencers can do multiple sponsored posts per month, so reaching 6,000 per month is definitely within reason if you have the audience. So, how do you get started with this? There is a video which I'll link below from Erin May Henry, which explains really well sort of getting into the influencing game. Now, don't go watch it just yet, but save that one for later. What's not to like about content creation? The startup phase on this one isn't great. As I learned in my travel blogging days, all of the revenue potential is on the other side of building an audience. And building said audience is a very, very long game. There are literally years of unpaid hours creating content to build your audience before you earn a single cent in the content creation game. Now, this is the reason I didn't stick to content creation as my main online job. While I loved creating content and still do, it is a massive part of my business that I have today. I actually moved on to this next job pretty quickly as I learned that offering one-to-one services was going to bring in an income much more quickly than influencing. What was it? Being a Squarespace designer, aka a more specific, easier to get into niche of being a website designer. If you're like me, learning to code makes you fall asleep on your laptop. It's just not for me. Development is not my thing, but making pretty things on the internet, that is definitely up my alley. Luckily, in my content creation early days, I bumped into Squarespace. You've probably heard before, Squarespace has sponsored every single podcast ever for the past 10 years. They're an easy-to-use web design platform. Coincidentally enough, it looks like it's not quite easy enough for anyone to do, however, because the Squarespace web designer industry is a real and thriving thing. So small business owners who are technophobic or just too busy to figure out how to DIY their website on Squarespace hire Squarespace designers. Now, people who have learned and are confident in the platform, they'll design and put together business owner sites on Squarespace for them. So if in your corporate job, you've ever been given a job to update a website, post a blog, design something in Canva, etc., this is like kind of the same idea, but you do this as a freelancer for other small businesses, not your 9-to-5 job. So if you're wondering how exactly does this make money? Well, there's lots of ways that you can make money as a Squarespace designer. But the easiest to get started with and understand is doing full Squarespace website builds for clients. A restaurant, say for example, hires you for $3,000 to take their content, their photos, and their copy, and their site inspiration and branding, and turn it into a functioning website on Squarespace. You do the project in a couple weeks, they pay you, and you move on to the next client. Now, the beautiful thing about Squarespace, and the reason I love it so much, is because I'm personally a little allergic to code. And with Squarespace, it's kind of like the Canva of website design. You drag and drop things on the page to make a site instead of writing lines of code. Now, I'd always been creative. I loved painting and pottery, and still do. But we both know that handmade items don't make for the best business model. And so Squarespace design was a really beautiful way to use my creativity in a way that genuinely served a need that the market had. Now, businesses need websites. I love designing beautiful pages. Squarespace means I don't need to code, and voila, there we are. That's a great job. So how much does this make? Beginner designers might charge $2,000 to $3,000 for a website, but really successful ones who have been at it for a couple of years and produce really incredible sites or larger, more complicated sites charge anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 for Squarespace website designs. Now, these are typically done again in a couple weeks. So as you can gather, the income potential from this online job is beautiful. In terms of how to get started, twice a year I host an event called the Profitable and Productive Web Designer Bootcamp. The next one is coming up on the following date and time, but registration isn't quite open yet. However, if you head to paigebrunton.com/subscribe and get on my list, I'll send you the registration details in the coming weeks. The event is free, and for 3 days I'll be hosting live workshops to help you learn how to get into this job specifically, how to set up the business, find clients, manage web designer projects, etc. Now, if web design doesn't feel like your thing, however, let's speak about another well-played freelance job. That is an OBM, or online business manager, aka the internet's equivalent to a project manager or chief operating officer. An OBM is kind of the next level up after being a virtual assistant. You work for an online business like a web designer or content creator or course creator, and you manage that business. You negotiate contracts, you hire team members, you plan projects and manage those projects, etc. Now think like high-level admin work and general operations-y type stuff. If organization is your thing, you love working with people and coordinating them, and you have the skills to get a project from start to flawless finish, then being an OBM or the right-hand man/woman to a successful online entrepreneur could be your dream job. And as for income, OBMs charge hourly. I've seen everything from $40 to $100 an hour. Now I need to state a potentially unpopular opinion on OBMs, and that's that a lot of people calling themselves OBMs actually have no clue how to do this job properly. A lot of virtual assistants who want higher pay change their title to OBM without really up-leveling their skills enough, in my opinion. And I know of a few business friends who have had to let their OBM go pretty quickly once it became clear that they didn't actually have the skills or know-how on how to do the job. So in terms of how hard it is to learn the job and get started, I'd say you either want a background in project management or a good few years as a virtual assistant where you've really grown in independence and decision-making ability, and definitely have taken an online course on how to do this job with someone legit. I've heard good things about Sarah Noked. And also, be sure to read the book Rocket Fuel by Gino Wickman and pay attention to everything he says about what an integrator does, as that's basically what an OBM does. Of course, as an OBM, the expectation is that you're the one managing the business when the founder wants to step away or take a vacation. So while it is reliable, it isn't the most freedom-giving. But every job has pros and cons, and that's just something to be conscious of with this one. Next up, an ads manager. That can be Facebook or Instagram ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads. These tend to be the main ones. Granted, I wouldn't recommend you learn them all, and you really just need to get good at one ads platform, and they're honestly pretty different, so the learning curve will be a lot shorter if you choose to learn just one rather than them all. Now, this job combines creative skills like designing graphics, editing videos, writing copy, and then skills with the technical side of the back end of whatever ads platform it is that you decide to choose, as well as an understanding of marketing and funnels. The corporate equivalent is the same. There's ads management agencies, which companies hire, or in-house ads managers for larger businesses. Now, doing this as a freelancer, however, just means you're doing the same thing, but for yourself, not a 9-to-5. Day to day, you'll find clients, help them come up with unique and creative ideas for their ads, and create the copy and the creative, like videos and photos for the ads. Then you'll run the ads, monitor how they're doing, and tweak, basically. You'll be helping your clients generate leads and sales and managing their ad spend in the process, trying to get them the best return on their investment for their ad dollars. Now, to learn this job, trial and error isn't quite as possible with this job, as that would require you actually pouring your own money into ads to do the learning. So either taking a course or doing a few clients for free while you learn with their money, or working with another ads management agency where they look over your work and get feedback would definitely be recommended to learn this one. Now, in terms of pay, ads managers tend to take on a few clients at a time, maybe 3 to 5, and charge anywhere from $1,500 a month to $5,000 a month. Now, like an OBM, this is an ongoing retainer type job. Some clients will be spending tens of thousands of dollars per week on ads. They're gonna want someone overseeing that ad spend at all times. This isn't the easiest job in the world to take time off from, but it is really well paid. To get you started as an ads manager, it might help to know how to use an ads platform. So I'll link a video below from Sandshell Media on how to run ads on TikTok to get you started. Next, let's talk about 2 super scalable jobs. These next 2 aren't one-to-one service provision, but they are more passive style income streams and jobs. Next up, we have selling website templates. This is basically a more specific version of selling digital templates like social media templates or PowerPoint slide templates or calendar templates. And the reason I'm saying website templates, however, is because each type of digital template commands a different price point. And typically, the most expensive and therefore high paid of all the digital templates out there are going to be website templates. Website templates sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars versus social media or Canva design templates for much less. Now, the corporate equivalent of this, honestly, I don't think there's an exact match, but if you have experience in graphic design, site design, digital marketing, or content creation, that will definitely help you with this business, as doing this job is a bit of a mix of those 4 things. This is kind of similar to the Squarespace designer job that we spoke about before, but instead of you designing one site for one client, you're designing a website which you'll resell multiple times to whoever likes that template. So like before, you'll want to learn all about designing sites on the platform of your choice. You'll next build an online shop to list your website templates for sale, and then, similar to a content creator, you'll actually build an audience to sell those templates to. My good friend Erica at Big Cat Creative does this, and you can see she has a YouTube channel, blog, and Instagram full of Squarespace tutorials and tips, and that's the way she's chosen to build the audience to buy her Squarespace website templates. Now, in terms of the pay on this, it's all about how big of an audience you can build to buy your templates. With templates priced at, say, $400 per template, if you sold 1 a day, that's $12,000 a month. Now, Erica and I have actually done quite a few videos together where we've spoken about how she built her template shop, earnings from it, etc. I will link a couple of those down below for you to get started with. Now, I will say, for real success as a template designer, knowing what your ideal clients are looking for in a website, what design style and demo content will most appeal to them, what kind of pages you should build into your template, it really helps to work with clients one-on-one first. But being a template shop owner is your dream. I fully support you in that, and I think it's a beautiful business model. But a few one-to-one clients first will help you really hone those skills and understanding, and will be also kind of a good way to bring in revenue as you begin to grow the audience to sell your templates to. But how do you get a first web design client? Good question. If you're not sure which marketing strategy is going to suit you for finding clients, take my quiz, which client finding method matches your personality type. And in 45 seconds, you'll have your answer for how to find that first client.